from Johnston, Iowa. Happy best day of the year for the best career ever, National Teach Ag Day, which in agricultural education is, of course, a national holiday, as PJ Simon always said, her favorite holiday of the year. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm going to get into the official program first, but I have one really important thing that I need to do. I need my Andrea Fristow and I need Victoria Hamilton to join me up here. National Teach Ag Day is part of the National Teach Ag campaign, which is an initiative to ensure quality and diverse supply of teachers. And I could not do what we do at NAAE on behalf of all of you without these lovely people, Andrea Fristow, Victoria Hamilton, our wonderful intern, Elizabeth, and a big shout out to Mr. Alan Green, who is a first-year teacher in Michigan, just started 2 weeks ago and had been on our team until then. So they are the ones who make magic happen every day on behalf of the profession, and I am very, very grateful from the bottom of my heart to be able to work with such outstanding colleagues. So I had to get that out of the way, and now let's celebrate National Teach Ag Day. So I would like to again, yes, thank you, and of course to beautiful Elizabeth. So I would like to officially welcome you to Corteva Agriscience Agriculture Division of Dow DuPont. They are the hosts for the 2018 National Teach Ag Day celebration. This is our 8th National Teach Ag Day, and we've started this 8 years ago, I guess, at the high school in Lake Buena Park in, California. And it has grown, and now there are thousands out there of you watching it. We have an audience of about 90 here with us. But again, thank you to Corteva Agriscience for hosting us. And I would like to introduce you to the newly appointed, just brand new as of yesterday, CEO of Corteva Agriscience, Mr. Jim Collins.
Hi, I'm Jim Collins, Chief Operating Officer of Corteva Agriscience. On behalf of the Corteva team, I want to welcome you to this year's National Teach Ag Day celebration. You all know that we have a very important job ahead of us. The world is expected to grow from 7 billion people today to 10 billion people by 2050. Now, to put that in perspective, that's more than the equivalent of adding the current combined populations of China, India, and United States to our planet in just the next 3 decades. That's a planet of 10 billion hungry people who will be expecting us to provide them with safe, wholesome, and nutritious food. It's a big challenge, but a challenge that farmers and people like us are willing and excited to step up to. Our purpose at Corteva is to enrich the lives of those who produce and those who consume, ensuring progress for generations to come. And we can't achieve our purpose without having strong partnerships with other companies, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies who aspire to that same vision of the future. And we can't do that without you. We need your help to build the diverse agriculture workforce that we need to deliver on that promise. The USDA has projected that openings in the ag and environmental fields will continue to outnumber the number of graduates prepared to take them for the next few years. There will be up to 2.4 million STEM jobs going unfilled, jobs where qualified employees can earn as much as 30% more than non-STEM jobs. And to compound the challenge, we have a shortage of professionals qualified to teach our students about agriculture, food, and natural resources. Not to mention helping them learn the critical skills they need like science, math, communications, leadership, management, and technology. Agriscience teachers are particularly important. Whether you are an ag educator, a volunteer, a student, or someone who is supporting this important mission, we are grateful you are here to help us celebrate today. You are the people who are teaching, mentoring, and learning. You are bringing new programs into your communities. You are volunteering for clubs and organizations like 4-H and FFA to inspire young people to become those future leaders that we need. Now, we need these leaders to take on exciting careers in the field, in the laboratory, in the office, and in the classroom, just like many of you, teaching our young people for generations to come. I wish I could be with you there today live to thank you for all that you do for our youth and for the future of agriculture in this country. Enjoy the day with our team.
So again, yes. Thank you to Jim and to the entire Corteva Agriscience team for hosting us this year and literally rolling out the green carpet for us. So Teach Ag Day, a lot of the excitement around Teach Ag Day happens on social media. So if you are on social media, we encourage you to use the hashtag tagged18 and post shout outs to your ag teachers, those of you that have been thinking about becoming agriculture teachers, talk about why you want to be, and just overall a general celebration of agriculture teachers. We also have on Facebook a best career ever frame that you can use and put around as one of your profiles. So please be sure to use all of that, and we'll be checking in on social media throughout the day, just like right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I can. So Pennsylvania FFA Foundation said, why try to explain miracles to kids when you can have them plant a garden, raise a calf, or look at an atomic structure? We also have Joey tweeted that working in the fields to get the fall crops ready to grow. We have the University of Kentucky is celebrating Teach Ag Day with a catered lunch and watching the live webcast. Happy National Teach Ag Day. We are grateful for agricultural teachers, advisors, and mentors who are preparing, and that is at Lincoln County. We also have Happy National Teach Ag Day. Warden FFA members are learning 10 different FFA contests today.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it. So over the course of the last month, we've asked teachers and institutions to send us those individuals who have been tagged to Teach Ag. And so we have various compilations of those videos that we'll be showing you throughout the day, as well as the commercial contests that were submitted by institutions across the country. And they're having a little online contest right now that will be announced at the end of today. And the number of views that the video has determines who the winner is in the commercial contest with the most views, gets to take home this beautiful trophy. It's okay. We will show that later. So let's meet some of those future agriculture teachers.
Why do I teach ag? Let me show you.
Sometimes we teach here.
And sometimes we teach here.
We're all a part of the Big Blue family.
We help each other in good times and bad. We work hard and play hard.
Teaching ag is
Empowering.
Memorable.
Fascinating.
Inspiring.
Fun.
Agriculture is for everyone.
as I said, this is the potential trophy that those commercial contest winners are trying to get, which really it's about bragging rights. Right now, the leading institution is Kansas State University. They have over almost 2,500 views. And in second place is Murray State with 776. So lots and lots of views need to happen between now and then. Otherwise, this is going to Manhattan. So one of the great things about Teach Ag Day is the ability to bring in some of our outstanding agriculture teachers who are a representation of the more than 12,000 that we have across the country doing amazing things. And now I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Jacob Hunter, who is the agriculture teacher at North Scott High School right here in Iowa. Jacob has been teaching agriculture for 6 years. When he first started the program at North Scott, membership increased 446% enrollment in his program from the year before. So obviously he's doing wonderful and inspiring things. He was named an Iowa State Emerging Young Leader, and we are just delighted to have him here with us today to share his story of Teach Ag. So Mr. Jacob Hunter.
Thank you, Ellen. Ninth grade year hit me like a truck. I mean, like a full head-on collision. I had been at a school of about 21 kids, and all of a sudden, I had to go to the public school of over 150 kids in my class. So you can only imagine how intimidating that was, going from knowing the same kids all the way from kindergarten through 8th grade and jumping into a giant school. And for some of us here, it's like, oh, that's a small school. But really, that was a huge school and a big change for me. So I had really lost my place once I went to school. And I wanted to try some different things to try to find my place. One of those things that I tried was cross country. And well, I was dead last in every meet. Speech, I was embarrassingly bad at improv. Drama, I supposedly was not dramatic enough, which I don't know what they're talking about because I'm pretty dramatic. German club, nicht sehr gut. Sorry, Frau Deutmeier, I'm not very good at German. But all these things left me lost. I didn't know what I was doing with myself. My family and I even started looking at the process of open enrolling me to a neighboring small school district, Kelmis-Wheatland. But my ag teacher, Mr. Smicker, sat me down and he said, no, you have potential, you have something special, you're going to stay here and make a difference. And well, I listened to him because, as you do, you listen to your ag teacher, right? Everyone, correct? Okay, yep, you listen to your ag teacher. And I knew that he saw something special in me, something more than just that nice kid from the Catholic school down the road. So that gave me my first why for teaching ag. It gave me a chance to help kids that were lost find purpose in what they do on their daily lives. And I had always been good at helping people too, so then I decided that I would try this out and go to Iowa State and major in agricultural education. So I eventually did that and was able to get a job teaching at Des Moines, so welcome to my old stomping grounds. And while I was there, I taught for a large metro school, and I was really nervous because I had never run a farm before. I had never worked with such a large school district before, and it was very intimidating for me, but I was very excited at the same time. My first group of students came in, they got off the bus, they came into the mobile classroom, and one student stood out to me right away. She was decked out, I kid you not, decked out head to toe in One Direction. She pulled out her One Direction notebook, her One Direction pen, and was ready to take some notes. I went to go take roll, and I was like, well, is this student present? And she's like, nope, you can call me Mel's. And I was like, well, that's an odd name, but okay. And she really stood out in my mind. I was like, this is gonna be a very interesting year. What kind of decision have I made taking on this job? Well, this student totally subverted all of my expectations. She went on to be the first Latinx student elected to an office above the chapter level in Iowa. She went on to show a steer at the county fair, first one from an urban chapter, and was able to do well at several state contests. Everything was going great up until her senior year of high school. And I know this is a part that's a little bit hard to talk about, especially since we're talking to a national audience, but her parents had come to the United States before she was born. And her father was discovered and was deported back to Mexico. And as you can imagine, the student that has everything going perfect for them, everything is going just right. She had a full ride to Iowa State for her academics. and all of a sudden everything was going to fall apart. But it didn't. And why didn't it? It's because she had a support and community in agricultural education. Her ag teachers stood up and made sure that she could still show that steer at county fair. They made sure that she still could make it to Iowa State and do well in school. I'm just so proud of her, and she's done so many amazing things. She was the first minority student in Iowa to get their American degree. That's something to be really, really proud of. And yeah, definitely. You clap for her. I'm probably embarrassing her right now because she's probably listening, so I'm sorry. But it's just amazing because she's been able to do all these things that because of this community that was supporting her. And I just think to myself, where would I be without agricultural education? And honestly, I have amazing parents. I know my mom's watching right now. She's probably sitting at her desk. But I have amazing parents. I have a stable home. I did okay in school most days, except for German, and was able to be pretty successful. And honestly, I know this is kind of blasphemy on National Teach Ag Day, but I'd probably be okay. Don't tell Mr. Smicker. But but the thing is the reason that agricultural education exists is for students like Melissa. It's students that need that help. And that's why we're the ag teachers, is we're there to help those kids. That's our why, is to help those kids that need something to believe in. They need to find their place in this world, and that's why we teach ag. And every day, I wake up, and I'm so happy to be at North Scott, helping students just like Melissa be successful, find something that they can believe in, and find a future in agriculture. And so I encourage everyone right now, as you think about becoming an ag teacher, just think about what is your why, and with any why, you can accomplish any how. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of National Teach Ag Day.
So Jacob is, as I said, just one person of the 12,000 plus ag teachers that we have mentoring students, making a difference in the community, motivating the next generation, and we're just absolutely delighted that he could be here with us today, and we'll be hearing from a few other agriculture teachers later. One of the great things that we have at the National Teach Ag campaign is every year we select some individuals who we want to highlight as our Teach Ag champions. They are individuals who have gone above and beyond. We have one of them here with us today, Miss Nancy Tribbett, who's going to get recognized, and we have some former Teach Ag champions in the audience as well. And these people deserve to be recognized for the outstanding work that they've done. So let's go ahead and meet them.
Each year, the National Teach Ag campaign recognizes individuals and organizations who have gone above and beyond to ensure a quality and diverse supply of agriculture teachers as our Teach Ag champions. This year's champions were selected based upon their passion for agricultural education, their commitment to creating more inclusive and diverse learning environments, and their priceless contributions to teacher recruitment and retention. We are excited to recognize the following 4 individuals as 2018 National Teach Ag champions. Luke Allen is a program advisor at the Facilitating Coordination in Agricultural Education in Illinois. In this role, he provides direction and guidance to agriculture teachers and works with local communities and school administrators to start new agricultural education programs. Before working as a program advisor, Luke taught agriculture at Clifton Central High School in Clifton, Illinois. Luke is committed to training teachers about how to create inclusive and welcoming classrooms so that all students and teachers are safe to be their authentic selves while contributing positively to their community. Our next champion is Miss Jessie Lumpkins. As an agriculture teacher at McGavock High School, Jessie teaches more than 150 students in the animal science pathway, bringing inquiry-based instruction to a diverse population of students in Nashville, Tennessee. Jessie is a case lead teacher and was a part of the 2013 DuPont National Agriscience Ambassador Academy. Jessie believes that the true mark of an individual means that you work to make everyone in the room feel more comfortable, and she is committed to removing barriers in order to build a safer and more inclusive learning environment for all students. Our third Teach Ag champion is Dr. Travis Park, an associate professor in agricultural education at North Carolina State University. Dr. Park taught agriculture in Indiana for 5.5 years, and in his current role, he prepares college students for their future careers as agriculture teachers. Dr. Park's students are required to take a course about teaching students who have intellectual and physical learning disabilities, and they also complete a workshop aimed at building meaningful connections and relationships with LGBT students. And finally, Miss Nancy Trivet is the State Program Leader of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resources Education at the New Jersey Department of Agriculture. Nancy has served in many positions and has been a part of numerous leadership boards, allowing her to help agriculture teachers and students achieve success. Nancy is currently serving as the president-elect of the Association for Career and Technical Education. In all that she does, Nancy strives to communicate positive, inclusive classroom environments to all leaders and members in various educational organizations. We'd again like to thank our 2018 Teach Ag champions, as well as our past Teach Ag champions, for their continued commitment to raising awareness of the need to recruit and retain quality and diverse agriculture teachers. It is thanks to individuals like these and our sponsors that make the work of the National Teach Ag campaign possible.
So again, congratulations to our Teach Ag champions. And maybe one of you will be honored next year. How exciting. So as you can see, we have the future of agricultural education on the stage, ready to share with us some wisdom that they have. I would like to introduce as their moderator, Mr. Matthew Eddy. He is the agriculture teacher at Southeast Polk High School right here in the Des Moines area. A master lead teacher, an outstanding teacher winner, a Teach Ag champion, and just all around one of my absolute favorite people. So Mr. Matt Eddy is going to lead these future agriculture teachers and share with the rest of you some information that might be of use. I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Eddy.
Thank you, Ellen. It's been a great pleasure to be here, and we'll just jump right into the panel because we've got a lot of great future teachers here that we're going to hear from today. So I'm going to jump right in with Allison. So Allison, tell me, what's it like living on campus with so many new people?
So hi, my name is Allie Abadier. I'm from the University of Missouri, and it can definitely feel overwhelming at first with so many people. But you just have to work to find that smaller community and find your niche. And I was able to do that in Ag Ed. And then I wanted to give a shout out to my professors in Ag Ed, Dr. Tummins, Dr. Simonson, and Dr. Kletzer.
Great, thank you so much. Alice, what did you look for during your campus tour before deciding on a college to attend?
So my name is Alice Cox, and I looked for somewhere that would cause me to grow more. So I'm originally from Virginia, and I chose to go to school at Clemson University in South Carolina. And so that caused me to reach outside my comfort zone because I wasn't going to the school 30 minutes from home, but 4.5 hours away. So that took me into a new state with new agriculture teachers and even a new form of agriculture. So that being said, I want to give a shout out to all of my professors at Clemson University.
Thank you. Excuse me, Brittany, how did you know that being an agriculture teacher was your career calling?
So my name is Brittany Daniel. I go to the University of Mount Olive, and I really didn't know that I wanted to teach agriculture. Being a non-traditional student, I really didn't know much about agriculture until I was in my first ag class in high school. Once I got involved in FFA and started learning how applicable agriculture is and how relevant it is no matter where you're from, that's when I knew I wanted to tell other students like myself that they have a place in the agriculture industry. I'd like to give a shout out to my ag teacher, Missy Swain, for instilling this passion in me, and the University of Mount Olive for helping grow my passion.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you very much. Allison, this might dovetail on her answer a little bit. Do you have to be a former FFA member to be an ag teacher? That's a great question.
It's a great question. My name is Allison Durrell, and I go to the Kansas State University. And no, you don't have to be a former FFA member. I never was an FFA, but through my education at Kansas State University and many mentorships with many different high school teachers, I'm fully prepared to be an agriculture educator.
Great, thank you. Dusty, do you need a college degree to teach agriculture?
All right, so my name is Dusty Dykstra from South Dakota State University, and it really depends on what state you're getting your degree in or that you want to teach in. There's different requirements, but you should get a college degree because as educators, we should be well educated ourselves, and that we should really believe that we are all lifelong learners.
Great, thank you very much. Brittany, what type of classes do you need to take in college?
So hello, I'm Caitlin Elliott, and I'm from the University of Kentucky, and the classes that I take there, I think the best part about it is I get to take quite a few ag classes that'll diversify me, but then I get to take education classes that allow me to teach that material that I'm learning in all my other classes. And I'd like to give a shout out to my professors at UK.
Thank you. Stephanie, Who inspired you to become an agriculture teacher?
Hi, my name's Stephanie. I'm from South Dakota State University, and honestly, the person who inspired me the most was my mom. Since I came from a school that never had ag ed, I didn't even know it was a career possibility until one day I was practicing speech in front of my mom. I got done, and she looks at me and she's like, "Stephanie, you should be an ag teacher." I thought about it for a month, and now here I am.
That's great. Leah, what are you involved in on campus?
Yes, hi everyone, I'm Leah Jacobs. I am a student at Purdue University, so shout out to Purdue. I know they're all watching this live webcast back on campus. So I'm involved in a lot of different things in addition to our Ag Ed organization on campus. I'm also an ambassador for both our department as well as our College of Ag. I'm a member of Collegiate Farm Bureau, and I do some things with our campus ministry as well. So lots of great opportunities to plug in at Purdue and really any college and university.
Thank you so much. Sarah, do you get to practice being an agriculture teacher while at college?
Hi, my name is Sarah Manderfeld. I go to South Dakota State University, and we were talking in the car actually yesterday about our opportunities that we get through different universities overall, and I know personally at our university, each semester, time and time again, we have so many outreaches that we can go to, not just ag specifically, also like different schools, elementary, high school, tutoring, and we just have that outreach to expand our education. Also, shout out to SD State, you're number one.
Thank you. All right, Laura, do ag ed majors do things together on campus?
Hello, my name's Laura Minks, and I'm a junior at Iowa State University. And yes, Ag Ed majors do have the chance to get together and do things on campus. For me, it started my freshman year. We were all together in classes, so that's where we met. And then from there, we were able to join clubs together, get to know each other outside of class, and really form that network and connections with our peers and future ag educators.
Great answer. Go Cyclones. All right. Henry, what resources do you use to help you in designing and preparing lessons?
That is the big question, isn't it? My name is Hank Nyans. I go to South Dakota State University. I draw a lot upon my experiences in the industry and other people's experiences in industry. I look through extension manuals, and I also talk to colleagues that are in the ag education field.
Great, thank you very much. Holly, where have you traveled to by being an ag education major?
That's a great question. I'm Holly Podliska from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and being an ag ed major has allowed me to travel to lots of places, to other conferences around the U.S., South Carolina last April, here in Iowa. I've also had the opportunity to work as an intern in Hawaii for the last 2 summers, as well as take 2 trips to China in agricultural education. So there's lots of opportunities. You just have to grab them and go.
Wow, very well traveled. All right, Joe, this question's for you. I think everybody's probably wondering this. Are there scholarships available to help offset college expenses?
Absolutely. So my name is Joe Ramstead. I'm from the University of Minnesota, so shout out to everyone who's watching from there in Rutan Hall. So yeah, there are a lot of scholarships available to everyone pursuing degrees in agricultural education, whether it be through agricultural organizations such as CHS or the National FFA organization. A wide variety of scholarship dollars are available specifically for ag ed students. And on that, I'd like to give a shout out to my 3 high school ag teachers, Mr. Mira, Mrs. Ward, and Mrs. Tozel, Dr. Smith and Dr. Greiman at the University of Minnesota, Lavin Rada for all you've done for me throughout the years, and also to Sarah and Carrie at the Minnesota Agriculture Education Leadership Council. So thanks to all of you guys.
All right, thank you very much. That's great. Yeah, there you go. Give him a hand. All right, Madeline, that's a tough act to follow, Madeline. I'm sorry about that. You know, that's the luck of the draw, I guess. But all right, what advice do you have to someone considering agriculture education?
Absolutely. My name is Madeline Regier, and I go to school at South Dakota State University. Some advice that I have for future agricultural education majors is that agriculture is dynamic, and so it allows you to study a bunch of different, a variety of areas in agriculture, and allow you to advance your knowledge in different industries. And so with that said, you can really find some of your strengths through that and pick those areas that you're willing to teach in your classroom, allowing you to teach some of your favorite things.
Absolutely, great. Thank you very much. Star, are the professors and faculty on campus helpful? Now, I'm sure they're not watching, or maybe they will be, so just go ahead, tell us what you think.
All right, so I'm Star Skipper. I go to South Dakota State University, and I definitely know that one of my two professors is watching. I'm assuming they both are, but they both give 100% to anything that you want to do. If you send them lesson plans that you've made, they will give you 100% feedback, and they will work as hard as they can to help you with anything you need. Even if you're a freshman coming in, they will give you whatever you need to help and succeed. So I'm going to give a shout out to my best friend, Tammy Putz. You're going to be a great teacher someday.
Great, thank you very much. Ellie, how many classes do you take during a semester?
Hi everyone, my name's Ellie Steensma. I'm from Dordt College. At Dordt, we have great opportunities to take a wide variety of classes, and I usually take between 5 to 7 each semester, including ag classes, ed classes, and a variety of music classes as well, which is a great perk of Dordt College.
Very good, thank you. Alex, do you have free time in college?
Free time? That's the question, really. I'm Alex Topol. I'm from South Dakota State University. Free time is what you make of it. If you really want some free time, you can surely get it. But I like to keep myself involved and keep going. So shout out to all the SDSU Ag Ed kids watching.
That's great. Thank you very much. And Shaylee, what made adjusting from living at home to living at college easier?
Hi guys, so my name's Shaylee Reeves and I'm from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And so something that UNL did really well was just providing myself and all of the other students, freshmen, lots of different opportunities to get involved on campus and make those important connections with your professors and your peers. So I really think that's what helped make the adjustment for me.
All right, thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause for our panel here and great answers.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Let's find out what's going on social media. Give us an update, Elizabeth.
So Mr. Gregg said, Happy National Teach Ag Day. Not only is it the day that I get to celebrate my awesome career, but I also found out this morning that I'm getting my first student teacher this spring. So that's very exciting. Jesse said, on this Teach Ag Day 2018, I'm with 96 students at the National Zoo. Tomorrow I will be with 48 at my alma mater. Wouldn't have had it any other way. Happy Teach Ag Day.
Oh, our sweet Jessie.
Let's see what else we got.
That was one of our Teach Ag champions. See, she's out there just doing her thing, being a champion.
We have Happy Teach Ag Day, teaching hands-on agricultural programs each and every day, and that is Kobe Administrations.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. So you can keep those coming throughout the day, and we'll be sharing them in a variety of ways through our social media platforms, and obviously, too, hoping that you're tagging the individuals that you are recognizing, as that is one of the most important things about National Teach Ag Day. Again, this is about agriculture teachers, and I am delighted to once again be able to provide you with the opportunity to hear from one of our fantastic agriculture teachers. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Matt Wood about 3 or 4 years ago. We're not even going back too far because neither one of us wants to age ourselves, but he was one of our Teach Ag ambassadors, and now he's a second-year agriculture teacher in Maryland doing wonderful things, and I would very much like to introduce you to Mr. Matt Wood.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you to the National Teach Ag Campaign, to NAAE, and of course to our sponsors for today's event. Going back to the past couple weeks, I've started to notice some questions that I get pretty often. What do you do? And why do you do what you do? Now, for most of us in this room and the people watching at home, you guys know that I'm a high school ag teacher. But you may not know the second part of that question, which is why. Teaching ag is a profession that is filled with lots of challenges. It's waking up really, really early in the morning, and it's staying till 8, 9, maybe even 10 o'clock at night just to make sure that you have the best possible experience for your students the next day. It's waking up on a Saturday morning to walk into the greenhouse to water because you know that you have a plant sale later in the day. It's traveling tons of miles for SAE visits, for conventions, for field trips, and everything else under the sun. Though working in ag is difficult, I remind myself often why I do what I do. They say that if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. For me, the past 2 years hasn't really felt like work. My advice for anyone who thinks about pursuing a career in ag education is to listen to your heart. If your heart tells you to teach, then teach. So why am I here? Why do I teach ag? I'm an ag teacher for a number of reasons. First and foremost, literacy and education in ag is something so important. With more than 9.8 billion people expected to walk the face of the earth by 2050, it is so important to educate our students so that they know where they are able to get a good and sustainable food supply. It's also disheartening as a teacher to have a high school student come in and tell me that their food comes from the grocery store, as if Walmart just magically produces all the food and throws it on the shelf. And, brown cows give us chocolate milk. I'm still trying to find the pink ones that give us strawberry milk. I teach ag to educate, to inspire, and to mold young minds to uphold ag for generations to come. I teach ag to encourage diversity. With a country that is so divided, I want my students to be able to come to school, to feel safe, and to be able to share their views in a safe space, regardless of their background, their interests, or their life choices. I want to be able to foster a safe place for all of my students. I teach ag so that I can foster a learning environment for all students, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability. Each student has endless potential. It has become my goal to tap into that. I see potential in each and every one of my students. Each one has a gift. I use my classroom as an opportunity to tap into each student so that they're able to shine in their own unique way. Lastly, I teach ag to make an impact. As the first generation removed from production agriculture, it has become my duty to give back to an industry that has done so much for me through ag and FFA. To share my experiences and to encourage students about the endless opportunities that ag has to offer. I leave you with this. If you want to make a difference, to impact another individual's life, to help catapult them to reach their ultimate potential, then I suggest being an ag teacher. So when someone asks you what you do or why you do what you do, take pride in it. Take pride in who you are. Take pride in that you're an ag teacher. Teaching ag is so rewarding. Ag teachers, each and every one of you, are so important to students and families all across this country for generations to come. Thank you.
Matt. Thank you. Great job. That was really well done. So thank you to Matt, and thank you to the 12,000 agriculture teachers that he represents on this wonderful National Teach Ag Day. And we could not do National Teach Ag Day without the support of our outstanding partners. And I use the term partners on purpose because they are partners in this effort to ensure a quality and diverse supply of agriculture teachers. They are helping invest in the next generation of teachers who will inspire our leaders, problem solvers, entrepreneurs, and agriculturalists. I'd like to introduce Mr. Deshawn Blanding, who is a regional vice president for the Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences at North Carolina A&T University in Greensboro. He is also a former National FFA officer and obviously has had a great deal of impact on his own life from agriculture teachers. And he's going to help introduce us to some of our outstanding partners. So Mr. Deshawn Blanding.
Good afternoon. We recognize that this celebratory event today and the National Teach Ag campaign would not be possible without the support of our generous partners. So I would like to recognize and acknowledge some of our partners who will be serving on the panel today. We have Ms. Jennifer Overholt from BASF, CHS Foundation, Ms. Tracy Eichenberger, Dr. Clint Pelcher from Corteva Agriscience, and Mr. Matt Merritt from POET. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, thank you all for joining us today. So first of all, I'll start by asking if you could describe ag teachers in one word from your experiences with agricultural educators, what word would you say describe ag teachers?
Well, they stole my word earlier in a video, but I would say empowerment. I think ag teachers equip their students in many different ways, and I think empowerment is a good word.
Thank you. I would choose dedicated. I believe that ag teachers are truly dedicated, giving of their time and their talents, not only in the classroom, but above and beyond, and investing in their students, which in the end helps all of us.
The first one that came to my mind was heroes, because I think you do a little of everything, and you do an excellent job at it.
My word is shepherds, sometimes literally, but agriculture is such an important part of American history, and such an important part of our economy, such an important part of really every aspect of life. There's nothing more American than agriculture, and these are the folks who are shepherding the next generation to carry that on. It's such an admirable profession.
I think all these words are strong, as they really are evident in my ag advisor and my FFA advisor and ag teacher. And these ag educators will also be preparing our future students who may one day be working for you all. And so we really want to ask, what skills do you want our students to gain in the classroom that they could be transferred to your companies one day?
Well, I think number one skill is probably the ability to communicate. So helping your students learn primarily to listen, listen deeply to what people are saying, your teammates, other students, listen to what they're saying, and then being able to relay, complicated pieces of information and simplifying that for whoever they're communicating with. Because when you get to companies or careers, it's usually about working as a team across a broad segment of people that have a lot of different backgrounds, and so being able to relate to those people, that's really how you're going to get things done.
I would agree with communication. I think that's critical. Something else that I think that as teachers you play an critical role in is helping students as they come into the workforce to problem solve and be innovative. It's those new innovations when we know about the limited resources that we have, we know about the limited areas where we can't grow any more land, right? So it's those innovations, the ability to problem solve, that's actually going to help all of us. And I would say that you play a critical role in that, in helping us as employers, especially BASF, to be innovative, be inquisitive, solve problems, and that's really where the future lies.
I think a critical skill is to learn to put yourself out a little bit, to take chances, to do things that are a bit outside your comfort zone. You never know what kind of opportunities will come up that way.
To piggyback off communication, fostering that passion for agriculture, and then communicating that, being vocal, thinking bigger than your farm, your job, your company, at some of these issues that are happening, because there's so much going on about agriculture. There's so many people talking about agriculture all over the country, all over the world, and a lot of that conversation is misinformed, and people are setting the image of agriculture without having the right information, and some of that's because we just aren't talking enough. And there's so many people here, so many passionate people, it's so fun to see them, and they got so much to share. So take that passion, foster that passion in your students, and then get out there and talk about it. Be a leader out in the world.
And I realize we recognize that partnerships are greater than financial support. Partnerships are the hands-on experience that you have with us. And so what resources do you offer for students and ag educators?
So I'm really pleased to be representing Corteva Agriscience here today. I would say, and I'm thinking about our company, and as a resource, we have a tremendous number of people to help ag educators. We have over almost 200 folks that are signed up, what we call Friends of FFA. So these are folks that have been members of FFA or or just are passionate about agriculture and want to do what they can because they recognize that ag teachers, vocational ag education, as well as the FFA, are really training and putting together the people that we want to hire down the road and keep agricultural humming. So recognize that resource is there. We have people skilled in so many different areas, it's unfathomable to think about. So, but they're there as a resource and willing to come talk at your, to your chapters, to your classrooms about their expertise and about Corteva. So.
Thank you. I would say we're all passionate about ag. You're sitting here because you're passionate, and so growing that passion. But what I appreciate the most about working at BASF and our employees, sort of very similar in the aspect. Let's be realistic. We all love this industry. We want to see it grow. We want to have that message go out there. But the same token, our folks in the field, they want to be involved. They want to get out there. They want to be advocates, right, to help grow the industry and to help students and to be a resource for teachers. I've heard several times from students, I work with young individuals coming into our organization from an internship, and they'll say, yeah, my ag teacher said this, and then I heard someone they brought in from the outside into the industry, and it's like, oh, it just clicked for them. And I think that's where that partnership is so critical. It is a partnership among all of us, and so our employees are willing to come into the classroom to be there as a resource for you. Some other things that we actually do, we partner with a local news organization, ABC 11 News, and developing some science experiments and information that go out there, and we call it the Kids Lab. But it's just another resource not only for our employees to take into the classroom, but for teachers to, as a repository, to go out and find that information to help supplement just some of the things that you're already doing in the curriculum that you're building and the resources. It's just another avenue for you.
Well, at the CHS Foundation, we are trying to provide more resources for teachers so that you have those available once you get to the classroom. We funded a program called Ag Cultures through the University of Minnesota. It's agcultures.com. So that is a series of National Geographic style expeditions. There's some great videos if you want to demonstrate to your students the diversity of agriculture. Those are really great. There are standard-based curriculum that goes along with it. Commodity Challenge is another free resource that students can use to practice being a farmer and marketing their grain. Another resource that teachers can reach out for, the cooperative system is throughout the country. Reach out to your local co-op. I mean, there are experts there that you can ask to come into your classroom. We've had co-ops tell us that some of their agronomists go in and teach classes and assist with those. So I think that's a wonderful resource for teachers.
So there's a lot of organizations out there that really exist to share the message about agriculture. I'm proud to be a member of Growth Energy and work really closely with them on biofuels issues. And I know that anything you want to know about biofuels, reach out. Growth Energy will help. I will help. Poet will help. We want to get the word out. That's literally why these places exist, is because there's so much out there that isn't, cast in the right light. And we need to spread that education, and that's students, that's the general public, it's policymakers, it's everyone. So that's why these groups exist. They want people to reach out. They want to reach you and get you the right information. growthenergy.org, that's an easy spot to go to get a lot of information. And if worse comes to worse and you can't find somebody, just shoot us a tweet or whatever, Facebook, someone will get back to you, get you what you need. I know there's even some curriculum that's been designed around biofuels to help with that, so we can do all the hard work for you. You just got to go in and share that passion.
And to wrap this panel discussion up, the purpose of today is to celebrate ag teachers, future and current ag teachers, and we actually have some future ag teachers here with us now. What thoughts or advice would you offer to our future ag teachers and current ag teachers about partnering with you all and getting involved with your companies?
Well, I think it's about being creative. It's about creating memories. And that's some of my best memories come from being an ag student in my high school back in Akron, Colorado, and having the ag teacher, Mr. Charlie Johnson. Those are the best memories I have of him encouraging and helping me build inside what I wanted to be, which is a bug guy. I'm a bug guy, by the way. But like I said previously, I think that there's a partnership there that we can help all of new ag teachers, find that passion. We can provide tours. We can show people what the future of agriculture is looking like, and help them maybe get a line of sight on what they something they may want to go after, something they may want to do, in 5 to 10 years down the road, and then what kind of education or what tools you need to put together so you can do that. And so the future is bright, and we're looking forward to working with future ag teachers of America. So thanks.
Thanks. I think just a great way is that continuing that partnership, reaching out. You're in school. And you have coworkers now or fellow students that have gone out, and maybe now they're in industry reaching out. Any one of our organizations, we're happy to partner. And we have individuals out in the field that can be that resource. Reach out to each other, lean into each other, and help grow. And that's where the benefit comes from, the resources. And I would say, don't be afraid to reach out. Look for different ways. One thing that I see working with young students coming into our organization from either our internship or our professional development program is that some of them don't necessarily come from that traditional ag background. And I think that's where industry, that we can help play a part in that, is saying that there are careers, so many different and diverse and exciting careers, and you don't have to have had necessarily to grow up on a farm. And I think we saw that from some of the future teachers of you that are out here in the audience today when you were standing up here talking about your backgrounds. There are so many exciting careers, and things are going to change tremendously over the next 10 to 20 years, but it's all about how are we innovating and working together. So lean into each other, lean onto each other, and reach out, and we have to do the same. I mean, the responsibility isn't just for you, but it's also for us as the industry to make sure that we're partnering together.
Exactly. At the CHS Foundation, we are giving on behalf of farmers and ranchers that own our cooperative. We keep that in mind with everything we do to build a stronger future for this industry. We've been very proud to support the National Teach Ag campaign since 2011. It's amazing to see the work that has been done in just relatively a short amount of time, and can't wait to see what they do in the next coming years. We're going to continue to look for ways to support teachers going forward, again, with the curriculum that we're funding through our partners. And I think another project that's coming up with the National Association of Ag Educators is called My Local Co-op. So I think that's something that you're going to be seeing a lot more of pretty soon.
So partnering with the biofuels industry, I think there's a few ways to do that. One is taking advantage of that close partnership that FFA and Growth Energy have developed. And FFA, I'm sure, would be happy to act as someone to make those introductions and to get the ball rolling on some things. Of course, reaching out directly, like I said, there's a number of resources within the biofuels industry that exist just to educate. Quite a few resources. If you're blessed, if you won the Rural America Lottery and you happen to have a Poet biofuel plant in your community, right? We have grant programs within those communities too. We encourage all our plants to reach out and to work on community development. So there's resources there too. If you got a great idea and you just need a partner to help with making that a reality. Those plants are really into that, and at the corporate office too. Reach out to us, let us know. We're always up for new ideas. We have a scholarship program at Poet called Never Satisfied, and that's designed around the idea of really getting at the kind of personality of the people we want to work with. We want to work at Poet, and we want to work with outside of Poet. It's those people who are driven and aren't afraid to have new ideas and bring those ideas forward. We want to be a part of that. So please don't be afraid to look us up. Don't think you're taking any of our time, because that's what we want.
We thank you for your continued partnership and your support and dedication towards ag education and making sure that it's relevant and active. Thank you so much.
Yes, so great partners. Thank you. To take your own chair back, it was supposed to be, but we'll do that later. We're running just a little bit over on time here. We're going to keep things rolling. Obviously, wonderful content, so we want to continue to share that with all of you. Thank you very much. And so with that, let's meet some of our next generation of agriculture teachers and watch some of the videos that were sent in.
From Bradenton, Florida. I'm Keelan Gorey. I'm from Apopka, Florida. I decided to teach ag because I had a passion for agriculture and a passion for teaching. I decided to teach ag because it had such a big impact on my life and I want to help other kids have the same experience I did. UF has a lot of hands-on learning that they were able to offer me. I chose to come to UF because the teachers, students, and faculty in general are so close and we're such a tight-knit family.
I would tell my younger self that there are a variety of different opportunities and venues within agriculture.
It's vital to take risks.
I would tell myself that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
I would tell them to get involved.
Just be ready for anything.
It's a lot of fun because the topics are so broad. A mentor told me that doctors don't save lives, they extend them. Teachers save lives.
After my first year here at the U, it really hit me that this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
So we've been able to hear today from a number of individuals who are agriculture teachers and future agriculture teachers. I'd like to now introduce Dr. Rhonda Ham, who has been impacted by agriculture teachers. Dr. Ham is the Global Academic Relations Director for Corteva Agriscience. She works out of her office in Indianapolis, Indiana, and has had a number of impacts in New York, Indiana, California, and she's going to share with you her story of how she's been impacted by an agriculture teacher. Dr. Rhonda Ham, please.
Thank you. So thank you all for being here. Teachers, students, everyone that's here and joining us today around the country, thank you for being here. So I want to tell you a story about a young woman who was so eager to start high school. She had a passion for animals, and that summer before her freshman year, she got her very, very first market lamb. Now that passion for animals continued throughout her high school career. But before she finished high school, the summer between her junior and senior year, she found out that she had been selected for an internship, which was awesome. But she also found out that, congratulations, you were selected to work in an entomology lab. Now I should tell you about this young woman. She was terrified of insects. literally was the person that would scream when she saw a creepy crawly in a room and would not go into the room until it had been removed or dispatched or etc. And you had to know, it couldn't crawl under furniture or something and hide there. That was not okay. It still had to be removed. So this was going to be a challenge to work in an entomology lab for a summer. But through the previous 3 years of her agriculture experience, she realized that this was really an opportunity. It was an opportunity for some really cool, valuable research experience. It was a paid internship, so that is always a good thing. And it really gave her the ability and the potential to overcome fear and really shape it into something that's more fascination. So after that experience, she ended up working in that lab for 3 years. She ended up working in a second entomology lab for another 3 years, and eventually getting a PhD in entomology. So when it came time to go to college, she kind of looked at herself and said, how can I major in just animal science when there's all these amazing things to learn? Her agriculture teachers had shared plant sciences, agriscience, mechanics. There were all these exciting things in the industry to learn. And so she decided she was going to major in agricultural education and become a teacher herself. So that woman, slightly older today, I'll admit, is standing before you today. So my background, I came from not a farm family, so I'm one of those stories that I didn't have a farm family. But my definition of animals really changed that summer. I always associated animals with the four-legged fuzzy things and loved that. But my definition of animals was expanded by my agriculture experiences to include 6 and even 8-legged friends, I call them now. So I did end up becoming an ag teacher. I student taught. I miss my students. I'm going to do a shout out to Clovis East High School and Sierra High Schools where I had the privilege to teach. I still miss them today, this day. And really, I remember all the hard work and effort that I put in and that I know all of you ag teachers can relate to, of putting in hours of how do I make this an engaging experience for my students. It's not just you're going to go to class and you're going to sit and you're going to learn a subject. It's really about what experience am I going to give my students. And I thank you for that. My life was forever changed by somebody taking that chance on me and saying that this is an area for you. Agriculture is an area for you. So I need my notes for this part because I don't want to leave anyone out. So very few people actually attain success strictly on their own. So I had amazing agricultural educators at Fresno Central FFA. So hi, Fresno Central, if you're out there watching. And Miss Mattis, Dr. Franklin, Mr. McCraw, Mr. McKenzie, those were all my ag teachers in high school. And my student teacher, who is now a teacher of teachers at Fresno State, so hi, Dr. Roca. And Dr. Art Parham, who was actually the one to teach me how to teach. He was the teacher of teachers for me. And my awesome college classmates at Fresno State, go Dogs, that are now in the classroom themselves. There's too many of you to recognize, so you all know who you are. And my master teachers. My master teachers were the ones, and that's Mr. Woodard and Mr. Vandenack, who really taught me to be a better educator myself. So you never do this adventure alone. You always have a group of people behind you in this industry, which I love. So, and in my role, I've been really, really fortunate that I've interacted with ag teachers from throughout the country. So for those of you around the world that I've interacted with, thank you for what you do. Couple shouts out because I saw that San Luis Obispo was tweeting, so hi there to them. And Beech Grove, Indiana, if you're watching, hi, Mackenzie, high school high. So back to my story. I digress. Personally, I moved from ew, gross, get it away, to wow, cool, interesting, tell me more. How can I study this? How can I make this a career? And so that impact, I didn't realize, but when you put this jacket on, this jacket right here, and I'm going to actually do it, and yes, I do fit still. Somebody made a comment to me earlier about that. So when you put this jacket on, little did I know, you gain some superpowers. So I'm going to gain some superpowers right now. One is the courage to stand up here and talk to all of you. So when you put this jacket on, and when your students put this jacket on, they gain superpowers. The power to learn, the power to change, the power to grow, and the power to overcome. Those were the things that happened to me in this blue jacket that I had no idea were happening at the time. So for those of you in the room, I have a little token that you can take with you. And yes, I know I'm an entomologist that studies insects. It says 8 legs. I realize it's an arachnid, but it's what you can find around the October timeframe are spiders. Spiders are everywhere. So I have a bag of spiders. If you'd like to take one, I want you to remember that even though something might scare you and terrify you, you have the power to overcome. You have the power to change your perception and make it into a life-changing opportunity. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate what you do. Let us know how we can help.
Awesome. That was incredible. Thank you to Dr. Rhonda Hamm and obviously all of the individuals who inspired her, and there are thousands upon thousands of stories just like that across the country. So what I'd like to do now is invite some of our friends in agricultural education to join me down here. And while they're doing that, I do have to say that congratulations are in order to Kansas State University. They are the winners of the commercial contest. Purdue maybe next year. I know they've been trying for a while. So we'll be sending that, trophy to Manhattan. So again, I'm joined up here with some wonderful colleagues. Agricultural education is always deemed as a family, and we truly believe that. But you need to meet some of the individuals who have a great deal of impact on the education that is provided in through the programs and the individuals who make those things happen. So I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Nancy Trivett, who is the president-elect for the Association for Career and Technical Education. I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Elisa Smith, who is the Associate Executive Director at the National Association of Agricultural Educators based in Lexington, Kentucky, and Mr. Dr. Steve Brown, who is the United States Department of Education Agricultural Education Representative and National FFA Advisor, and Mr. Mark Peschel, who is the CEO of the National FFA Organization and National FFA Foundation. So what I'd like for them to do today, and again, we have a lot of things that they could be sharing with you, so we're just going to pick their brain on a couple of things, but can you give us the best piece of advice that you have for individuals out there who are thinking about becoming ag teachers? Nancy is also the director of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resources in New Jersey, so gets to work with agriculture teachers every day.
Thank you, Ellen. And certainly it's a pleasure to be able to tell you what the best piece of advice for me that was given to me when I was a young educator, and it was from my teacher educator, and it was simple. Nancy, if you want education to be your career, then you need to be a part of your profession and take part in all of your professional organizations at the state and national level. And that meant the State and National Association of Agricultural Educators, and certainly what we know today as the Association of Career and Technical Education, ACTE. Be a member, take advantage of the professional development, be a leader in those organizations, and sometimes make donations.
Wonderful, thank you.
I echo what Nancy says, but I'd also like to add that finding a mentor is very important. And in these days and times, we have lots of ways we can connect. So don't let mileage or miles keep you from someone that could help you be successful. Find unconventional ways to really communicate and develop that mentorship and develop that relationship, because I think that is very important for your future. So finding a mentor, don't let miles be a roadblock to you.
I encourage you to remember 3 words: purpose, passion, persistence. Understand your true purpose in life, follow your passion, and be persistent in it, and you'll be successful in agricultural education.
I think back to the way my ag teacher taught us, and that was we all loved FFA, but he always led with agriculture instruction. And he flavored what he did with FFA and then mixed that all up into our work experience program so that we could actually apply everything we learned in our leadership development experiences into real life work. And if you can do that, you're going to have a really successful career and a lot of great students.
Wonderful. So we'll start with you just to make it more efficient. What are some resources that are available to current and future agriculture teachers through the National FFA organization?
Well,
highlight a couple for us, please.
Sure. We have scholarship programs of all sorts for young people that are going to college to study agricultural education. We provide what we think is a very meaningful level of financial support to the Teach Ag campaign and to our friends at NAAE through our National FFA Foundation, because without ag education, FFA doesn't exist.
Wonderful, thank you. You're good to that too?
I'm good with that. Only other thing I would add to it is to remember that good agricultural education instruction will help you benefit the programs and be beneficial to you in the programs in FFA, such as our career development events, the degree programs, the proficiency awards. That instruction will help you to be successful in those other arenas of FFA.
Well, at NAAE, we are the teacher organization, so everything that we do centers back to what happens in your classrooms every day. And we are always thinking about the things that are occurring in the classroom every day. The programs we develop, the things that we do, to the emails that we send out, depending on timing. So I think there's lots of programs that are professional development that we offer, and those programs wouldn't be possible without the support of the National FFA Foundation. So we certainly appreciate their investment in NAAE so that we can invest in you and be able to provide all of the programs. We do have a life cycle of the agriculture teacher. It's available on our website. And through that, you can see from pre-service, early career, mid-career, to late career, all of the different opportunities, program-wise, curriculum-wise, instructional material-wise, that are offered through our organization.
Certainly at ACTE, there are lots of resources as well for teachers on the ACTE website. And we talked a minute ago about the potential leadership opportunities. But the other part that we can't forget is, as educators, to take advantage of the recognition programs. And yes, that's going to be recognizing you as an educator. But that's an opportunity for you to tell your story about your programs, about agricultural education, about career and technical education, which then supports and helps build and gets an awareness out about all of those programs, supports you, it supports your students, your school, your program, your state, and career and technical education nationwide. So don't be afraid to tell your story and use the recognition programs that both NAAE and ACTE have to offer you as educators.
Wonderful. Any last shout outs on National Teach Ag Day to anyone that I know it's hard to pick and be put on the spot. Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank Ellen Thompson for all of her work on the National Teacher.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to echo that in saying that getting the word out about our need, our demand for agriculture teachers has been an 8-year track record here that Ellen Thompson has led. The Teach Ag program has been a big impact on making progress in the area, as well as the STAR program. And Ellen and NAAE have really made that happen, made that possible, and we appreciate it because we need all the help we can get.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I just say, remember that you're dealing with our most valuable resource in this country, our #1 resource, and it's our youth. Don't ever forget that, because they are the future. They're the ones that are going to help us prepare to meet the needs of agriculture, so don't ever forget how critically important that is.
Good speaker knows when to shut up. I can't beat that. Great
Wonderful.
job.
Well, thank you all for joining us and for everything that you do for agriculture teachers. I'd like to introduce you now to another outstanding agriculture teacher as we start to wind down our live celebration before we turn it over to Mr. Matt Eddy and his folks. I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Jasa Fillmore. She's an agriculture teacher at Cassia High School in Idaho. It is a very special school, one of its kind in Idaho. It is an alternative school for students who are at risk. She is a master case teacher. She is an outstanding member. She has been a National Agriscience Teacher Ambassador and an all-around amazing human being. So I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Jasa Fillmore.
Thank you, Ellen. I remember remember the day that I decided I wanted to teach high school agricultural education. I was sitting in an auditorium of the Idaho State FFA Convention, listening to a national officer give their keynote address about all the opportunities they experienced in FFA. And I remember being really excited about FFA at that age and thinking that this was an organization I wanted to be a part of for the rest of my life. I was in 10th grade when I made that career decision, and this year marks my 10th year teaching agriculture education at the high school level. Back then, I didn't picture I'd end up here today, and I thought I would be teaching kids like I was. I was involved and excited about FFA, I loved a challenge, and I was a high achiever. I was privileged to have caring, committed parents that were high school sweethearts. I never experienced poverty. I never experienced discrimination, and I pretty much got to do all the things in high school that I wanted to do. And in college, I did well in my classes, I got scholarships, and I got hired to teach my first job before I even graduated. So I didn't experience some of the struggles that my students today face and that many students around our country are facing. I was naive to those challenges. So everything was going great, and I loved and committed so much time and energy and effort to my career in agricultural education. But about 5 years ago, with 2 young daughters, I had to make a choice. I could choose to leave this profession that I really loved and had been committed to since 10th grade, or I could choose to make it work for my family. And so I had the opportunity to start an agriculture program at the alternative school just down the road. And in Idaho, an alternative school is for students that might be behind on credits or have poor attendance, are teen parents or previous dropouts, or have other struggles that prevent them from doing well in a regular high school. So I didn't really know what that meant back then, but I jumped in, and today it's home, and I really love the students that I get to teach. So teaching agriculture at Kaja High School has really opened my eyes and helped me develop empathy for people from all walks of life. I've learned how homelessness and poverty and hunger and addiction and abuse and discrimination and trauma can affect teenagers, and I strive every day to help my students overcome those hurdles to defy the odds. Teaching agriculture at a school like this gives me a front row seat to students experiencing many things for the first time. We have a rabbit barn on campus where my students raise and show livestock at the county fair, most of them for the very first time. It's the first time they've taken care of an animal. We have gardens and a greenhouse on campus where students get to plant seeds and then grow food to provide for their own families for the first time. We go on field trips and invite guest speakers that open students' eyes for the first time to the fact that they might have a future in agriculture. They get to see that there are high-skilled, high-paying jobs right here in our community, most of which don't require a college education, but to good companies that open those doors beyond working in fast food or back-breaking labor. I get to teach students that agriculture is important to everyone, regardless of their background or their future plans. They learn about GMOs, and they learn about food waste and plant nutrients, and they get to take that knowledge out into their world and make an impact. The other thing that teaching agriculture at this school has taught me is that I am a teacher of students first and agriculture second. Agriculture is the vehicle that allows me to reach those students. You'd be surprised about what students open up to you about when you're working elbow to elbow in the greenhouse or when you're shoveling out the barn together. It's these moments where relationships are built and students find out that they have an adult in their life that cares about them. Sure, there are days that I get worn down, we all do, but it's the little moments in this career that make it so worth it. It's that time that a student puts on an FFA jacket and they feel like they belong to something. It's the moment when a student crosses that graduation stage, they're the first in their family to get that high school diploma, and they give me a hug and tell me I was part of that journey. So this last year, I was teaching Intro to Ag to a group of freshmen, and there was a local soil conservation district speech contest that I required all my students to participate in. Now, they weren't really very excited about writing and presenting speeches about soil to a group of strangers, and they had lots of excuses for why they couldn't attend this contest after school. So they kept throwing me excuses, and I had an answer for every single one of them. So one of their excuses was, well, I don't have a ride. So I went down to the bus barn and got the minibus and drove around town picking up my students before the speech contest, and every single one of them showed up that night. Now, their speeches were pretty terrible, but nobody won first place. But afterwards, as I was taking them home, they were jumping around the bus and cheering and chanting, and it just made my heart really full. Now, it could have been the ice cream that I gave them from Dairy Queen after the contest, but I think it was because it was the first time a lot of them had really been pushed to achieve a goal. And I got to be part of that, and I'm so proud of them for that. I know my students are listening today, if they stayed in from lunch, that is. So, and I want them and I want you to know that I am an agriculture teacher by choice and not by chance. I didn't just end up here. I choose to be here every day, and I choose to give it my all. Teaching agriculture is my mission field, and I care about my students. I care about every single one of them, and they matter to me. I know that every one of them could have a bright future if they choose to use the skills and tools from their high school education to dream big and reach their goals. For you here today, you might be picturing a future as an ag teacher filled with CDE award banners or state officer candidates or those high-achieving students. But I challenge you to keep an open mind. Can you use your time and talents as an agricultural educator to reach those students that are overlooked and forgotten about? You might end up somewhere you didn't picture, but know that you are a teacher of students first. They need you, and the future of agriculture needs you to teach ag. So thank you to our sponsors, to our partners, to NAAE, and to Ellen for having me here today. I appreciate your time, and go teach ag.
So obviously showcased 3 very fine agriculture teachers today who are, again, a representation of the 12,000 plus that we have across the country. So thank you again to Jasa, to Jacob, and to Matt for sharing your stories with us and inspiring others likely today to become agriculture teachers. As we start to close out our celebration, the live celebration that's happening here, there are things happening all over the country. But as we close that out, I would like to discuss potentially what's happening next year. So to help me do that, I'd like Miss Amy Baldwin to join me. Here you go.
Thank you, Ellen.
Yes. What's going on with you?
Just hanging out at National Teach Ag Day.
I love when you're here. Yes.
So next year's an exciting year, so mark it on your calendar now. It's going to be September 19th. And it will be exceptionally exciting because next year is a special anniversary. We'll be celebrating 10 years of Teach Ag. So we think that's pretty special and deserves a round of applause.
It is exciting. It's wonderful. And I like alliteration, so I like the way that 10 years of Teach Ag, so I know that's 2 T's and not 4 T's, which would be ideal, but 2 T's are better than just 1 T. So please, continue.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes.
We like the T's.
I do like the T's.
So Ellen and I thought it'd be fun to make you guess on where we're going to have it for next year. So we came up with 4 little hints for you to determine. So we'll say 4, and then you can tell us where you think it's going to be.
But if you know, if you have an inclination or you have a little hint, you can't say. So this state is the largest producer of sweet potatoes.
The wheels are turning, aren't they? The next clue is it's home to the oldest public state university in the country.
I did not know this. Krispy Kreme donuts were founded in this state.
Very important fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Did that state bring any today? That's the real question.
I don't know.
Maybe they did.
I don't know. The last hint is it's known as first in flight. So the Wright brothers took their first flight in this state. Anyone know? That's right. So on behalf of BASF, I'm pleased to invite you to our North America headquarters for agricultural solutions. BASF will be hosting you in the Raleigh-Durham area in Research Triangle Park next year. So we really look forward to having this special celebration, 10 years, and having everyone join us next year.
Thank you to Amy. Yes, thank you. Oh, I'll take that side. So as Amy said, yes, please do indeed mark your calendar for September 19th of 2019 for 10 years of Teach Ag in 2019. That doesn't get me where I need to be. So anyway, it's been an absolutely fabulous day. We are going to transition at this point. As we do that, I'm going to thank some individuals who have helped make part of today. And then during the transition, we'll also be showcasing some additional future agriculture teachers and some of those commercial contest recipients or submissions. So as we close out the official Teach Ag Day live webcast, I again want to thank Corteva Agriscience, Dr. Rhonda Ham, Clint Pilcher, Angela Kearns, who is the facility manager here at Corteva, who rocked it, to our friends at the CHS Foundation, BASF, Herman and Bobby Wilson, and of course, Growth Energy. So thank you to all of our partners, to Mr. Matt Eddy and the Southeast Polk Agriculture Program, who are now going to be joining us and showcasing what do agricultural education students learn, what do they do. So we're trying to showcase a number of things. We started with agriscience, we celebrated agriculture teachers, and now we're going to hear from the students who are receiving the benefit of agriculture teachers. So as we transition, please enjoy the videos of those that were submitted, and when we come back, Mr. Eddy and his 4 outstanding students will be joining us. Thank you all for joining us today. Happy National Teach Ag Day, and keep it going on social media.
Agricultural education provides students with opportunities for personal growth, leadership development, and career success. Students are equipped with the tools necessary to build connections both in and outside of the classroom. With the shortage of ag teachers across the U.S., it is more important now than ever before to acknowledge and support our current ag educators, who are supplying the future leaders of agriculture. Here at LSU, we're tagged.
This is Houston, radio check, over.
Walk in the footsteps of greatness.
Beyond Ag Teacher!
To inspire.
To serve. To love.
To educate.
To create.
To welcome.
To advise.
To advocate.
To lead.
To encourage.
Tag! Tag to teach ag!
Ag teachers' impact is immense in truth and positively affecting the lives of our youth. So today I pay tribute to this person I feature, changing lives every day, our local ag teacher.
Here at Kansas State University, we empower students to advance the agriculture industry.
There are approximately 12,000 agricultural educators in the United States, but demand still outstrips supply.
Teach ag!
Hello, everyone. I just
well, you can't see, but we're students from the Southeast Polk FFA chapter and the ag program. My name is Wyatt Bailey. I'm the president of the Southeast Polk FFA chapter, and we're really glad to be here today to talk to you guys about what we do in our ag program.
Hi everyone, my name is Lydia Johnson and I'm a junior. I'm Mara Balla and I'm a senior this year.
My name is Drew Lehman and I'm also a senior.
Okay, so we're going to start our presentation. Today we're just going to talk about just a little different aspect from our chapter, and I'm going to talk to you today about the infrastructure in our ag program and a lot of the courses that we offer. So to start, we have a 1,200 square foot greenhouse, fully functioning. It's heated during the winter. A lot of our ag classes utilize that facility in their learning. Also, you can see our classroom. It's had a lot of updates and changes since then. Recently, this past week, we've established a 72-inch interactive screen that students can use our new one-to-one computers to project their projects up on there. Seating-wise, it's not a typical classroom like you would expect to see. There's couches. It's a lot of flexible seating, so students are comfortable in the classroom when they're learning about agriculture. Also, later today, Drew's going to talk to you about our aquaponics system. He's an expert on that. So you can see our aquaponics system that was new this past year. In addition to the aquaponics system, in the same area, we have about a 750 square foot lab with 6 lab stations. In addition to our infrastructure, all the courses we offer, as you can see, are CASE, AF&R, and AF&R is Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources. CASE, Plant Science, Animal Science, Advanced Animal Science, and Advanced Animal Science Summer Lab, Advanced Horticulture, Biotechnology, and an Independent Study Unit. So you're going to hear me talking a lot about CASE, and you might be wondering about what CASE is. Mara's going to talk to you a little bit after this slide about what CASE is and the curriculum that we use. So CASE AF&R is an intro class. It's a 2-semester course. A lot of the freshmen that come in to our ag program take this class. This just kind of introduces students to the concept and idea of agriculture, and it helps them get hands-on with a lot of the things that are involved in agriculture. And like I said, it is a CASE curriculum. So right now I'm going to have Mara talk about what CASE is.
Hi, so CASE is the model we use at our school, and CASE stands for Curriculum for Ag Science Education. The CASE program breaks down into 4 main programs of study, varying from animal science, plant science, ag engineering, and natural resources. And at our school, we use 4 of those classes. So AF&R, which Wyatt said is Ag, Food, and Natural Resources, Animal Science, Plant Science, and Animal and Plant Biotechnology. So AF&R is our freshman year 9th grade course. And then from there you get choices. So those choices you can branch off in either animal or plant. So animal science is like the second year or sophomore second year ag class, but it's like your first year with the branch. And then plant science is the first year course for the plant branch. And then animal and plant biotechnology is the 3rd year course, and it's the second class for the plant branch. And Southeast Polk was actually became the first CASE model school in 2017. And I have a video that will highlight that.
The CASE curriculum is designed and based off an activities, projects, and problem model. We're trying to teach the students how to think. We want them to be self-directed learners. We're building the students' knowledge, and then we give them an opportunity in a project or problem to take that knowledge and then apply it to a real-world situation.
CASE does have some challenges. It really does force the student to be independent, and you must think for yourself, but at the end of the day, it really helps you to get a better grasp of the concepts.
I enjoy coming to the class where I participate in CASE because it's like a fresh awakening from all of your other classes where you're just handed information on a PowerPoint, expected to write it down, memorize it long enough to take the test, and move on to the next subject. During CASE, you actually learn what you're working on and how you're going to apply it to real life.
CASE does a lot of support for agriculture teachers, so teachers are actually trained to be able to deliver the curriculum. I wanted the national science standards so that I could align my curriculum with them. CASE has already done that. Every single science standard that we touch upon is already aligned. Every lesson that I teach already has every science standard in it, along with the math and English standards.
CASE has really helped me throughout my other classes with science, like molecular biology kind of goes into CASE because we're learning about animals through their reproductive and like cells.
The dissecting pig lab, we're basically looking at body structures, basically taking a look at the physical makeup of those fetal pigs. They've been injected with dye so the students can see the veins and the arteries.
We use our math skills like our algebra and our geometry. We're doing equations to figure out different things.
Everybody should have their swabs. Should get your labs ready. Rock and roll. You'll see some students that do a bio-security lab, and one of the things that we're doing is we're streaking petri dishes so that we can see what bacteria might be able to grow. And the students actually take the scenarios of what would happen if you had a biosecurity issue on a farm.
I'm doing an osmosis lab, and we're actually going to be testing how quickly it happens, along with what types of materials go into other substances. This lab applies to agriculture because you need to know how water passes through the soil in the fields and how certain pesticides will go through certain plants in the soils as well.
We've done labs that involve livestock. We've talked about safety for livestock, like how do you take care of them and what is the way to take care of them, like to keep them healthy and to keep them safe.
Innovation is very important to companies like Cargill. CASE very much helps those students as they
Okay, well, in that video, that talked about how we use the CASE model at Southeast Polk, and you got to see how different students viewed CASE and what all we do. So these pictures are all from the 4 various classes that we use as the CASE program. So in that first picture, that is a part of the animal science class, and we are looking at DNA under the microscopes. The second one is from plant science, just out in the greenhouse. And the third one is also from animal science doing a lab. In the second slide, or in these slides, there's pictures from dissections we did in animal science, another lab from animal science, and the third one is a part of our biotechnology course, which I think is the coolest one with CASE because it's the most involved. But that is doing micropipetting. So, and then it's back to Wyatt.
Thank you, Mara. So the next class that we offer at Southeast Polk in the Ag program is the CASE Horticulture and Plant Science. This is the class that's usually a lot of sophomores take after they take the AF&R course. It's a 1-semester course. It's a lot of the work is in the classroom, the lab, and the greenhouse, so they get all aspects of our infrastructure. They work on plant identification, anatomy of plants, plant production, and selling of the plants. Every spring, our chapter has a plant sale that is a big fundraiser for us. In addition to that, we have, it's a college dual credit. So our local area community college, Des Moines Area Community College, you also get credit for that, as well as some high school credits. After plant science, it's kind of the same year as the plant science is a CASE animal science. It's a 2-semester course, and it introduces students to any careers that are involved in the animal industry. I like to think that our ag program and chapter focuses really on animal science. So we've had a lot of alumni that go into the animal science careers. So this is really something that our chapter specializes in and is also CASE curriculum, as I said. After the CASE animal science is we have an advanced animal science course, 1 semester, and you have to have the prerequisite for animal science. like animal science, it is a college credit course, so we get college from our area community college and in high school. This course is more in-depth than animal science. We get a lot more hands-on work. We go out to our farm where we have I think it's about 20 head of cattle, of cows, that they AI, and then Lydia's going to talk more about this later, but we have an animal learning center that we do every year during the state fair. That's something that our chapter does, and the cows that our advanced animal science course works with, they eventually go to the animal learning center. Yeah, like I said, it's a more hands-on course. The next course that we offer is actually a summer lab, so it is not during the school year. The main focus is on the Animal Learning Center. Like I said, it's during the state fair, all 11 days of the fair, and the focus of this course is they set up for the Animal Learning Center. They have a certain amount of requirements that they have to meet in attendance at the Animal Learning Center, and they also tear down. This course really helps students understand more in-depth and more hands-on about the animal science industry. And this is located at the Paul R. Knapp Animal Learning Center. So if you all have been to the state fair, it's just south of the Little Hands on the Farm. Next, we have our advanced horticulture class. It's a one-semester course that occurs in the fall. And this course, like the plant science course, is really a lot of busy work. And this class really helps students to understand the work that it takes to manage a greenhouse and to grow plants from little seedlings all the way up until the production aspect of it. And it is located in our about 1,200 square foot greenhouse that it's really awesome that our chapter has that. It's a really great learning opportunity for many of our students. One of the most important, I like to think of most important courses that we offer is our CASE Animal and Plant Biotechnology course. As I've seen, Iowa State says that biotechnology is one of the biggest growing industries in agriculture. So it's definitely a program that is growing in our chapter. Students use the CASE curriculum that really fits well with what they're doing in class, and all of our labs and stuff help to develop that. It's a 2-semester course, and a lot of students work with micropipetting and a lot of the things that are involved in biotechnology. The last course, well, I like to think of it as a course, is our independent study. Drew, right here, is independently studying about our aquaponics system. So we allow students to go and choose a topic that maybe our classroom activities haven't gone more in depth of, and they want to pursue that activity more. So Drew, like I said, is doing the aquaponics system. That's something that we don't have as a course offered to Southeast Polk, so that it's really something that Drew can go and learn about and maybe possibly pursue in his in a career. And I think one of the most important aspects of the independent study unit is the fact that it's independent. Students really learn how to do things on their own and learn independently. Now I'm going to turn it over to Lydia, and she's going to talk more about the Animal Learning Center and what all that entails. Thank you.
Thank you, Wyatt. One of the biggest things that our chapter does during the year is we run the Animal Learning Center at the Iowa State Fair. So during the 11 days, we run this building, and we have lots of animals that give birth, chicks that hatch, baby animals, and we really educate the public on animal agriculture and agriculture in general. And our members get a lot of experience with animals. So it kind of started in 2007 when we were approached by the Iowa State Fair to work this building. Being such a close chapter, it was a really good fit. And our chapter, as our school gets larger, so there's about 2,200 students in Southeast Polk High School right now. So as the school gets larger, there's a lot more urban kids come from urban places. So it was great opportunity for them to get some animal exposure and build some skills in that aspect. The animals, our advanced animal science class raises the cattle. We have a herd of 20 cows, and they all give birth during the state fair. So we manage that, and the advanced animal science class does all the chores and things year-round with them. And then one of the most important aspects of it is that we get to educate the public a lot, which is one of my favorite parts. So general information, we chore twice a day at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. We're open 12 hours a day, all 11 days of the fair. So we stay busy. But the building's always full of people. People stop in the morning on their way in, check all the animals. Will stop throughout the day, bring their kids just to kind of keep tabs on all the animals because they're so interested and want to know about the processes and what is actually happening, because many of the people don't have any experience or have never been exposed to anything like that. So we have sows, does, ewes, bottle calves, ducklings, chicks, laying hens, turkeys, ostriches, you name it. We have a little bit of everything. So it is a great opportunity for anyone that comes in to really expand, get to see a lot of different animals and kind of understand how broad agriculture is. And here we have a video that one of our members made during the Learning Center this year that kind of showcases all the different animals that we have. So as you can see, we have a lot of animals, a lot of people that come into the Learning Center. And with that, a lot of people that we can teach about agriculture and teach about agricultural education, and kind of kids that are interested, guide them this way and encourage them to participate in programs once they have the opportunity during school. So the advanced animal science class that raises the cows starts, and they chore. The class is about 20 kids in it, and everybody takes a week. And you do all the cattle checks and chores, which is a great experience. We also get to sell the calves and go to the sale barn and do vaccinations, the timed AI, and the pregnancy checks. So, yep. There we're doing vaccinations and preg checking. And there's more preg checking, and then we are using our new ultrasound machine, I guess on a sheep. We don't have a picture with a cow yet, but yep. Then our advanced animal science class that prepares the Learning Center, they have to put in 120 hours from the third week of July through the state fair. So within about 3.5, 4 weeks, they put in 120 hours to prepare everything in the Learning Center for the animals to come. They build pens, clean, make sure all the animals get in and everything's in order. We also have the opportunity to build a lot of skills and career readiness being in the Learning Center with all these animals. So people that don't have experience with animals in our chapter have the opportunity to work with them. And also, if you do have experience with maybe one certain animal, like cattle, you can broaden your horizons by working with sheep and hogs, and other things. So here we have a member pulling a kid for the first time, a member drying off baby piglets, and then people giving iron shots and clipping teeth. And then here's some more pictures. All right, so the public education aspect. So it's estimated that only 2% of the U.S. population is directly connected to agriculture. So when people come into the Learning Center and have no idea what is really happening, that have never been exposed to any of these animals, it is extremely important that we portray our industry well. And everyone in our chapter is very passionate about agriculture, but we just have to portray that really well. So we all have booklets we study to know the correct information, to tell people, and get the opportunity to educate a lot of people. And we also have the opportunity to be on TV, on the radio, or be written about in the paper so that we can reach larger audiences. So there's a couple of our opportunities. We're on TV this year, on the news, and on the radio. And then there's some more in the Learning Center. As you can see, there's a lot of people bending over the lamb pen, watching them be born. People have never seen that before and obviously very interested. And there's some more opportunities on TV and just people that really want to know what's happening. All right, finally, staffing. So everyone that works in the Learning Center is a member of our chapter and a volunteer. So this year we did sign-ups. Mr. Eddie sent them out, and at probably about 8 in the morning. And when I got on at 10 to sign up for my shifts, all the morning shifts were full. 10 shifts every day for 11 days. And people sign up and really, really want to be involved, which is great. And everyone shows up for their shifts, which that alone is really impressive. But so it's really important to us because it's a great opportunity and everyone wants to participate and wants to take part in this opportunity. All right, I'll hand it over to Drew to talk about the aquaponics system.
All right, so what is aquaponics? Aquaponics is combining aquaculture, which is raising fish, with hydroponics, which is growing plants without soil. So this all started before I was even in high school. Our chapter has an aquaculture system for a long time. My sophomore year, we had a single tank aquaculture system. It held barramundi, and the tank was good. It was a good learning opportunity, but we had to fidget with it all the time. It had leaky pipes, and the biofilter wasn't up to standards. So we made a new system. At the end of my sophomore year, when I decided that I was going to take over this system as an independent study, me and Eddie got to talking. We wanted something bigger. We wanted something better. So Eddie started looking around. We found a system that we wanted. It came with 2 400-gallon tanks, the biggest biofilter that we could get, and pretty much everything we wanted. Sounds like a home run, right? But nothing's that easy. When we got the system, it didn't have near the growing beds that we wanted. So we made our own. We made 4 9-foot by 3-foot 10-inch grow beds that each hold 110 plants in each bed. Our system comes with 10 1200-watt LED grow lights. All right. Lettuce. You might be asking, why do we grow lettuce in our system? Well, when we first wanted to make a new system, we wanted to go just aquaculture. We wanted to have 4 400-gallon tanks and just grow barramundi. But at best, we could turn out fish to the school cafeteria once, maybe 6 months at best. So Eddie got talking with the food service director, and they really wanted a vegetable. They wanted tomatoes, and we really didn't want to do tomatoes. So we decided on lettuce, because our school always has a salad bar. So far, just last year alone, we have turned out over 100 pounds of lettuce just from our 4 beds. That might sound like a lot, but at our school, that might serve 1 or 2 lunches as an option. My daily routine. Every day, I go into ag 3rd and 4th period. I go in there and do what any kid would do. I check my fish first. After I see they're all good, I feed them, check water, and I pretty much do everything. I manage the system. I can do everything from germinating plants to feeding fish and flushing the system. Aquaponics has taught me a lot. It touches on all aspects of STEM, from science and technology of testing water, to engineering of building the beds and plumbing the system, to math of calculating feed ratios and the volume in my tanks. It's been a great opportunity for me because I'm doing what the industry's doing on a much smaller scale. We've had industry people come in and say I'm using the same pump they do. Mine's half a horsepower, they use 5 horsepower. Independent study has been a great opportunity for me and any other kid in it. There's nothing better to help you learn than you doing it yourself. In the industry, nobody's gonna be standing over your shoulder telling you what to do and when to do it. I do it all on myself. If lettuce doesn't get in the cafeteria, it might not be a big deal because it's an option, but it's still on me. And it's been a great opportunity for me, and I've learned a lot from it. Thank you.
Okay, our chapter is trying something new this year. We're gonna go on an ILO. An ILO is an international learning opportunity that will be offered every 3 years. This year, we're going to China. With this, we'll get an opportunity to educate ourselves on culture, history, and agriculture of China. When we go, we chose China because of their many connections to Iowa agriculture. With Branstad being the ambassador, it seemed kind of obvious, but many ag companies have bases in China that we'll be able to visit. And there's also a sister farm in China, so we're excited to go visit that and see how they do it in China compared to how we do it here in Iowa. And the trade is super important. So China is one of the top 5 importers of Iowa manufactured goods, and they have one of the largest ports in the world. So it'll be super interesting to be able to visit their biggest port and possibly even see Iowa ag products being brought in. And this is super important, is gaining the international relationship. As China and Iowa have been in the news a lot lately, it'll be really interesting as students to be able to get the first-hand look and to be able to see what's really going on and get it from their point of view, not just ours. And with the ag in China, they rank first in worldwide farm output in many different crops. So it'll be really interesting to see something besides corn. Not that there's anything wrong with Iowa corn, but potatoes might be cool too, I don't know. But yeah, so this trip will be an opportunity to definitely broaden our horizons, not just with agriculture, but also with culture and history. And then, is there any questions?
Yeah.
All right, guys, what are your plans? You're all upperclassmen. Do you want to study or pursue a career in agriculture?
Yes, all right, I'll start. I'm a junior this year, but I'm thinking on majoring in either animal science or ag communications.
So I'm a senior, and I'm looking into Iowa State for like reproductive physiology and working with swine.
I'm a junior this year, and I've really thought a lot about it, and I think I might either go to community college for a couple years to get all my prereqs, and then head to Iowa State to major in either agronomy or horticulture with a minor in Spanish.
I'm a senior this year, and I'm actually going to South Dakota State next year for animal science. So.
Are there any more questions? Okay. Yes.
You may have said this, so I apologize. When is your China trip, and how many people will be going?
Okay. The China trip will be during spring break this upcoming year, and we have approximately 20 students signed up to go.
Any more questions? Yes.
You might have said this too, but how are you fundraising or getting sponsored for your trip to China?
Well, for fundraising, we're doing group fundraisers where we go out to businesses in ag community in our community and asking for help making this trip happen or connections in China that we could go to see when we're there. So it's a work in progress still. Are there any more questions? All right, before we're done, I want to give a quick shout out to the best ag teacher there is, Mr. Eddie. Thank you for all you do for our chapter.
Finally, just thank you, everyone, for listening live and in person. It's been a really great learning opportunity for us. Thank you.